welcome to Doki Doki Forest. I'm so glad you are here. Now today is Thursday, which means it's Thrifty Thursday. Hashtag Thrifty Thursday, that is. Now this hashtag is hosted by Sheree over at Turquoise Dreaming. I will have her info down below. And for today's theme, I'm going to share with you a bunch of fairy books that I found at various book sales and secondhand shops. So let's get right into it. First up, I wanted to show you this series of books. I found two of them, the Fairy House Handbook and the Fairy Garden Handbook. These are both by Liza Gardner-Walsh, and I just thought they were really inspirational in showing all kinds of ideas for different fairy houses you could. Let me move my little fairies out of the way here. Maybe I'll move them up there. Really inspirational for fairy houses you could either create outside. Actually, this one is signed by the author, 2012. Wow. Must be someone local, but like, look at this. This is like something you could set up outside in your own garden, or you could have a little nook inside anywhere in your home. You know, you could just set up a little corner or a little something on a table or a shelf, and you could just add some natural elements from outside and make your own little fairy house, or you could sketch. You could use this as inspiration. So I won't look at every single page, but I just love seeing different ideas for houses. Like this one, you could just go outside, collect a bunch of sticks, hot glue them together, and make a little house. Add a couple stones if you want. You know, it doesn't take a lot of materials to make something. You can make it as simple or complicated as you want. Let's read this poem. And as the seasons come and go, here's something you might like to know. There are fairies everywhere, under bushes, in the air, playing games just like you play, singing through their busy day. So listen, touch, and look around, in the air and on the ground. And if you watch all nature's things, you might just see a fairy's wings. So this may be looks like this is a little bit of history in the beginning. So I'll just go through that a little bit quickly, because what we want to see is this kind of stuff, these little setups. So this would be really cute. I mean, of course you could rip out these pages and use them in a glue book. I'm not going to do that, but I mean, these would be stunning in a glue book. If I found a second copy of these books, I might do that. But this one is going to be more for reference, inspiration. You know, it could be, look at this. They went out for a walk. They saw mushrooms growing on the tree and they made a little house. I love that idea. Wouldn't that be so cool to set up like on a trail that like other people walk and they would come across it? I think that would be so cute. So these are different spots that you could set up a home, like inside of a fallen log or at the base of a tree. I think especially if the tree has like really good roots. In fact, I'm going to do that. After I show you these books, I'm going to put together a little fairy house using some sticks and things, and then I'm going to set it up outside somewhere. Maybe in my yard, maybe somewhere else. And then I'll show you. So let me just go. I know sometimes I flip a little bit fast, but it's just because I'm trying to get to these pages here. But it gives you some tips. Here are some of the places where you might want to build a fairy house. Tree hollows, tree roots and uprooted trees, stone walls, beaches, stumps, deserted animal holes. I'm not sure if you'd be able to tell if they were deserted. Like I see animal holes outside all the time, but I don't know if, you know, there's anyone in there or not. I just assume they're all being used. Flower gardens and meadows. And of course, anywhere else you can possibly think of. Like I said, you know, you may not have access to get to something like this. So you could just set it up in your own home. Gathering. This says, children born of fairy stock never need for shirt or frock, never want for food or fire, always get their heart's desire. They live on cherries, they run wild. I'd love to be a fairy's child. That's from Robert Graves. So you go out, you harvest like you're a little squirrel looking for goodies. And you gather up anything you like. Oh, be careful of poison ivy, though. Absolutely. Here's some, I don't know if these are ideas or if this is stuff they found. Shells, feathers, berries, sticks, rocks. What does this say? Bork? Oh, maybe bark. Sorry. Bark, leaves. It's a little kid writing with a lot of spelling errors. So it makes it really cute, but sometimes a little tricky. I think that says wada, maybe like water. Pine cones, roots, leaves, pollen, hay. So all kinds of things. Bark is a really good idea. Shells would be cool. I have a lot of shells that we just collected from years and years ago. But here we go. Here's some of the, milkweed husks. Yep, I've collected those, but they do turn like black, so I don't know how to really preserve those because I always think they look really cute, like a little bed for a fairy, but I'm just not sure on preserving them. But this is cute. This looks like a shell. Is that like a coconut shell or something? I mean, it doesn't look hairy at all, but it looks like some sort of a husk shell of something. Building. See, look at that. Even that, I would like to have a little gathering of natural materials like that in a little box. And I do have a couple of little boxes like that with the sections and everything. So it's one of those things I could do. How to make a stained glass window. That's cool. Heat your glue gun. Select pieces of glue. No, I was going to say glue glass. No, sea glass. Select pieces of sea glass that are flat and square. And then you use branches for the window trim. And I think you just glue away. That's a very cool idea. I don't have a lot of sea glass. I think I've found a couple pieces here and there in my life, but I don't have access to a beach all the time. So that would be a rare thing for me, but that's very cool. I love this. Little roof and a pine cone, a doorway with a little entrance leading up. It's so cool. You can just imagine like who lives there. Accessories, different accessories you can use. What does a fairy house truly need for furniture? The size of your house will determine how much furniture you need. So you can do a couch. You can make a couch, toys, beds, bookshelves, bathtub. The list goes on and on. So here's some little things that they made. Is that like a street lamp? I'm not sure what they were making there. And then a little bed, maybe, from a shell, or it could be a little like lounge chair too. So that's cute. You can get very creative and using your materials. A little clothing line. Some clothes from flower petals. Very cool. How to make a rose hip tea set. I don't see the tea set so much in that picture, but I'm sure it's there. There's another little setup there. All kinds of berries and looks like some fruits back here. Looks like maybe some sea glass chairs. Possibilities are endless. And then attracting fairies. I think they'll find it. That's very cute. How to make a fairy flower person. So there's a little idea. You could gather materials and make a little person. Here are lavender fairy cookies if you want to screenshot that. You can make those. What else do we have? A fairy bed frame. There's an idea there. That's pretty. A flower. Look at the headboard there and some moss for the bed. And a pumpkin house. I made a pumpkin house years ago. I didn't make it for fairies so much. I made it for like little pumpkins. I put little pumpkins in there and there were windows and a door. That was fun. I don't know if I have a picture of it. If I do, I will pop it in here. Oh, look, see, this was one you could do indoor. They just used a basket. And they built a fairy house, like a little setting right there. That's a great idea. Then you could take out the basket and put it on the table if you want, or put it next to the fireplace, or wherever you want to put it. Yeah, portable fairy houses. That's pretty cool. Life-size fairy houses. Well, I would love that. Oh, looks like there's a troll. A troll invaded. Catch a troll in daylight and make him turn into stone. Wow. All right. Here's another basket idea. And that's it for that book. But see, it's just chock full of ideas to really get your imagination going. Here's the next one, Fairy Garden Handbook. This one, yeah, this one's signed as well. I guess Amelia and Greta didn't want these books anymore, or their parents got rid of them without them knowing. We have another beautiful setup here with some shells. So let's see, this is going to be gardening. Oh, look at that frog. If I was glue booking, I would take that picture for sure. But no, we will leave the froggy in there. So let's get to the pictures, getting started. Oh, another frog. I really wanted to get one of those like frog or toad houses, those little pots with the little doorway and then the frog, or I think it's just the frogs go in. The toads don't like to stay as wet. But the little frog house where they go in and they live in there. I didn't set one up this year though, so it's on the list for next year. I think you can just make your own too from like a regular pot, like a flower pot. All right, let's see. So we have flowers here. But what are we doing? Container gardens. Look at all this. Wouldn't you love to just go in there and start creating away? Grab some of these materials and just make a little fairy garden house sort of thing. I'll insert some pictures too here if I can find it, but I have a couple little fairy gardens that are just in containers as well. So they are throughout the house. Yeah, just kind of like this. So see, they just take a bowl and then you fill it up. You can fill it up with rocks or sand or whatever you need to fill it with, and then you just build right on top of it. And you can get a wooden birdhouse and paint it like all magical. I like these pine cone tree sort of idea. That's really neat. There's the kids getting busy with everything, creating all their stuff. Whoops, I skipped a couple pages. Let's see, there's another basket idea. Using different materials. So see, everybody can have the same materials and build like a different style house. Now we're into outdoor fairy gardens. So if you have a space where you can make a little fairy house outside, then here are some ideas. But again, if you don't have an outside space, you could take most of this and build it inside. Like I even have a potted tomato plant on my back deck. So I could put a little house at the base. It's all contained in a little pot, and I could do this. I love how they've made this garden with the little seedlings, and then they've separated it with these little pebbles to make different sections of the garden. That's really cute. Some visitors. This one doesn't seem to have as many pictures of the fairy houses. It's a lot of garden pictures. It still has some, but not quite as many. So the first book might be better. fairy garden tea party. Invitations and planning. Dressing up. I was going to see if there were any recipes because the other one had recipes. No, indoor projects. So again, some more ideas for building. You can have like your herbs growing here and just make them a little bit fancier. Add some fairy elements. You don't have to go full fairy garden. You could just have a few little things in there just to make it have that hint of magic. And I think that's it. Yeah. So that was cute. Of the two, I prefer the first one. This one still had some good pictures, but I feel like this one had a bit more. So I don't know if there's more of these books in the series, but I have these two for now. And next up, another fairy house. This one's Fairy Houses and Beyond. This is by Barry and Tracy Kane. Now I'm just going to move my fairies, move my fairies a little farther back so I can fit this book. Oh, this one is signed as well. What? For Kayla, Inspire Your Creativity and Build a Fairy Village. Tracy Kane, 2009. This is beautiful. So more ideas. This definitely makes me want to go outside and start collecting. Another pumpkin idea. Really cute for Halloween. And here's a big house at the base of a tree. This one has like some, looks like some fur, but maybe it's just like fluff. I know some plants have like some fluffy stuff like this, like the cat o' nine tails or something. But this looks like a desert landscape. So see, even if you're in the desert, you can still build a home around the rocks, the cactus and stuff. So you can still make one wherever you are, whether you're inside or out. How cool would it be to go for a walk and come across a little magical fairy house just sitting there? Different ideas here. Different sorts of, here's a beach theme. Very cool. And you don't even have to take the shells. You know, this is something you could do instead of building a sand castle. You could try to build a little fairy house on the beach and maybe just leave it at the beach for somebody else. But don't leave it too close, of course, to the water. A meadow, mountain. So each fairy uses different things in their building, depending on what environment they're from. Ooh, look, it's like Elsa's castle. Tundra. How cool is that? Yeah, that's actually a really good idea in the winter. You could gather up icicles and stack them like this and make a house. That's so cool. See, I never thought of that. So it's really cool to get ideas from this sort of thing. Tropics. Something for everyone. Fairy village. So you can make a whole little village, a whole little community for your fairies to hang out in. Oh, look at the lighthouse. That's really cool. Coastal village. A little boat. Really cute. Medieval castle. Wow, it's like a wreath in there. That's a good idea, to make it like a tower. Whole castle here. Medieval village. Yeah, you could really come up with any theme and build it. A frontier village, like the old West, and then also the Native Americans. That's really cool. Fairy art colony. Oh, so this is, they're into pottery, painting, cabaret, dinner theater, opera box. All right, somebody is mowing the lawn or using a weed whacker outside, and it's really loud. So I'm hoping it's not too loud for you. Okay, well, it seems the lawn mowing is not going to end anytime soon. So let's just continue to look. I love the use of the turkey feathers for the theater. That is so clever. Love that. The supplies, art supplies. We know what that's like. Look, the pottery. I love that. The kiln with all the little pottery pieces there. And look at the painting, little pieces of birch bark canvas. Little drawings on there. Love that. Oh, music. Oh, yeah, you can make musical instruments like this harp. Look at the drums with the acorn tops. That is too cute. And the orchestra here. Look at that. They have all of their music stands with the sheets of music on there. We have the organ back there. All kinds of things you can look for while you're out and about. Oh, look at a berry garden. That's so cute. And look, you can use like gourds, squash. You know, you could use anything that's dried out. Or, you know, like we were saying at Halloween, you can use pumpkins. Anything can be a fairy house. Look at this. Look at that wood on the top. It's like a face. I think it's just the way the wood is, but that is wild, isn't it? And then there's the little place setting down there, a little place to eat. And then here we are looks like we're inside a fairy house. Oh, look at this. We're inside the fairy house here. Or at least it looks like we're inside, but maybe it's just an outdoor seating area that has a roof. I don't know, but look, this could be a fire pit. I love that. Another little seating area there. It looks like some dried hydrangea for a little umbrella. These really delicate leaves here for the backing of the chairs. Oh, I see. So it's this whole little thing here that you crawl in. Maybe you crawl in. Maybe it's really small. It looks big. That looks like a whole place you could go in and hang out. I would love to have that in my backyard. Oh, spa and relaxation. So this could be the beach or a spa. It looks lovely with all the shells. Little tiki sort of setup here. Maybe a little bar over by the oyster shell. Even fairies need a place to contemplate nature's wonders. Retreats and meditation. These are really nice. They look relaxing. This one to me looks like an Asian-inspired sort of a house. Love the roof on that one. Interior design. So I guess you can kind of peek inside this one. And here's another little fairy habitat. Looks like it's a little wall sconce or something out there, the little outside lights. Dining, different table, snail shells for chairs, anyone? And look, a chandelier here. Little acorn cups or plates. Anything can be used. It's really cool. It really gets you to stretch your imagination, both in your art and even just when you're walking around outside. If you happen to get out and about, you know, it just might make you look at things a little bit differently or see potential in something that you would have walked by, you know, a little bit of moss that maybe you'd walk by, but now you look at it and think, oh, I wonder if that could be a little pillow for a fairy or a little bed. Archaeological dig. Well, that's pretty neat. You can make an Indiana Jones house. Anything goes. Spring equinox. Nice little bird nest added in there. So yeah, after I finish flipping through here, I'm going to head out, see what I can find. I wish I could find all these turkey feathers. That's really cool. I think I have one or two that I've gathered, but we have turkeys all the time too, but I don't find the feathers very often. Here's another winter home. Look at that little cabin, winter solstice. And a teeny tiny snow person there. Fairy Houses series. Oh, I'll show you this. in case you want to see. Fairy houses everywhere. I don't think I have that one. Right? This is Fairy Houses and Beyond. Yeah. And there's some other ones there. So yeah, those are the books I want to share with you today. Just a couple, but they're all similar themes, just to try to inspire you to maybe make your fairy house. I do have a couple other fairy books, but I'm going to leave them for a future video. I want to go out and see what we can find to make our own fairy house. So we're taking inspiration from Thrifty Thursday, and we're going to go outside and put them into practice, do a little gathering, and then a little bit of construction. Here's what I have so far. Here's the rock quarry. You can gather the rocks and materials. What did you find? A dandelion. There's some sticks we can gather.
What are these little things?
I don't know.
It's not poison ivy.
Well, we're not going to pick those. We're going to just look for sticks or rocks or feathers, that sort of thing. We're going to make a little house.
Okay, well the house would like a little couple of purple things. They're cute.